result of a given proportional change in the quantity of all inputs used in production. So, what does it mean? Makikita niyo later in your marginal product, when you subtract each other, makikita niyo iba-iba. Why is it not equal? Why is the marginal product, the difference between the marginal product is not equal? You will see it later. So there are three types of return to scale. First one is the increasing return to scale. Second is the constant return to scale. And lastly, the decreasing return to scale. So according to the name itself, increasing, you will see that the difference between the marginal products will increase. Constant will remain constant and decrease will decrease. So let me show you an example here. Okay, I think we used this earlier. So in order to compute the marginal product, again, what you will do, you will subtract the total production. So 18 minus 8 will be 10. 30 minus 18 will be 12, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is your answers. So where is the increasing, or how we will know if the return to scale there is increasing, decreasing, or constant? You will see it here. When you subtract your MP. Okay? In these first three parts of your total or marginal product, you will see that there is an increasing return to scale. Therefore, what happens in this phase? Firm enjoyed high economies of scale. Therefore, the greater the quantity of a good produced, the lower the per unit fixed cost, because these costs are spread out over a larger number of goods. An example of this, for example, you will make one ball pen and it will cost 5 pesos. But according to your supplier, if you make two ball pen, instead of being it or producing it at 10 pesos, if you're going to produce it one by one, you will just get 8. Therefore, your marginal product will increase. Next. Okay. So this situation occurs if a percentage increases in all inputs. Okay, as you can see there, it increases. But how we will know the times when it becomes constant? You will also subtract them. And as you can see in this part, or in this color blue part, it became the constant return to scale. Why constant? Because as you can see, the numbers or the difference between the marginal product become 10. 10, 10, 10. So therefore, there's no increase, there's no decrease, but it just remain constant. So it occurs actually if a given percentage change in all input result in an equal percentage in output. Of course, hindi naman palagi tataas yan, right? There will always come a time that your return to scale will slowly become constant. Okay? And lastly, the orange part here, as you can see, when you check, the differences become or decreases. 864. This is because of the second forces that Adam Smith stated earlier. This happens because of loss of efficiency, or what we call the managerial inefficiency. The most common explanation for decreasing returns involve organizational factors in a very large firms. As a scale of firms increases, The difficulties in coordinating and monitoring also increases. Therefore, sometimes it's not always to be big, especially if your management or the one who is managing is only few. An example, a coal mining organization, diba, can increase the number of mining plants. However, you cannot increase your output due to limited coal reserves. No matter how many workers you will hire, you will still get a limited resources because coal reserves are also limited, right? Kahit na maging unli yung workers mo na kukuha ng coal, wala na ring kwenta yun. Kasi yung resources na kukunin nila will not be enough for them. Therefore, the loss of inefficiency. Therefore, the decrease in return to scale. So the question is, in this graph, where should rational firms produce? Diba, may stage 1 tayo, may stage 2, we have stage 3. But how we will know which stage should we produce? In what stage should we produce? Any guess? 1, 2, or 3? Should we produce in 1, 2, or 3? You may type your answer. Stage 1, stage 1 lang din, stage 1. Saan ba dapat mag-produce si rational firm? Baka stage 1 na yung sagot ng isa, hindi na kayo nahihiya na kayo sumagot ng iba. Sigurado kayo, stage 1? Sure na yan? Final answer? So, in this graph, diba, we will see. Check ko nga kung may linya. Ayan. Makakita niyo na agad. Ayan. Okay. With lines. Okay. Where should the firm produce? Which state? Stage 1 kayo lahat? Wala ba mag-stage 2 or 3? Hindi representative? Ayan, may nagbago na. Tapos sinagot na lahat. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, ma'am. Okay, which one? Okay, yun na, final answer? Okay. So let's discuss stage 3 first. On why it should not be this stage. Ano ba nangyayari sa stage na to? What's happening in this stage 3 that is the main reason that the rational firm should not produce? What is happening in this stage 3 ba? Ma'am, bakit hindi pwede sa stage 3? Why not in stage 3? Any guess? Bakit po hindi dapat sa stage 3, ma'am? Dapat hindi kayo mag-produce dyan. Why? Ayan. Dami. Declining, diminishing stage. Okay. Ayan. So from the word itself, okay, makikita ninyo what is happening. All of the line are actually declining. So therefore, if you're going to produce in this stage, what will happen? You will have a loss. So here, your marginal product implies negative contribution. So kahit mag-increase ka ng labor mo, negative pa rin ang lalabas sa'yo. Right? So, ma'am, ano ba talaga? Dapat ba sa stage 1? So, negak na yung stage 3, right? Stage 3 is not an option. So, we have the option stage 1 and stage 2. So, most of you actually answer stage 1. And let me explain why it should not be there too. So, actually, the answer is stage 2. So, may nag-direct message sa akin and answer na is stage 2. And then, may nag-stage 2 din dito, nagbago ng isip. Right? So, as you can see, ma'am, why is it not in stage 1? It's increasing naman eh. It's increasing, right? Why? Bakit hindi dapat dito? Okay. The explanation is, baka may nagtatype pa, may habol. Maybe you know the answer. Why? Why do you think? Ma'am, it's increasing eh. Peak stage. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're referring to 1 and 2, but I will connect it na lang. The peak stage here is that you know that it's increasing, but you do not know when will it stop increasing. Right? If you produce in this time, for example, you produce in this point, and then may itataas pa pala. Right? There's more that you can get if you produce or wait at this stage. Di ba sayang? It's like if you're the producer, ay, sayang, I should have waited more or I should have added more. Right? So therefore, the answer is actually in stage 2. In stage 2, rational firm should produce. But, another question, ma'am, I will show you the ano na lang then. Here. Okay, so hindi siya stage 1 because it will underutilize your fixed capacity. Hindi rin siya stage 2 because it will implies negative contribution. Therefore, sa stage 2, di ba? The answer is stage 2. Okay. But, where exactly the firm will operate within stage 2 cannot be determined only on the basis of the product curve. You cannot determine here in the graph na, okay ma'am, sa stage 2, but where in this stage? Ma'am, saan po? Hindi natin ma-determine using the product curve only. We need more information about the input cost and the price of output. But we know, nasa stage 2 siya. Okay? But the product curve will not only be the basis kung saan at kailan tayo mapoproduce. Ang alam lang natin, we only know that we should produce in stage 2. Okay, any questions regarding this before we move on? Clear so far? Okay, ayan. Thank you. Okay, so we'll now move on to cost. Still cost. Okay? So here, you actually already encountered these words. Okay, total, fixed, and variable. Right? The total cost is the sum of fixed cost and variable cost at each level of output. So therefore, in order for you to compute the total cost, it is equal to the total fixed cost plus your total variable cost. Meanwhile, your fixed cost remains constant regardless of the volume of production. So if there's no production, there is still cost. Okay? Kahit wala kang ginagawa in your business, even there's nothing there yet, there is still cost. That is what we call the fixed cost, right? And variable cost, it changes in proportion to volume of production. If there's no production, there is no cost. More production means more cost. Okay? So the graph for that is this one. Okay? As you can see, the fixed cost is here. For example, this is your total fixed cost. Meanwhile, your total variable cost will start in the zero. Okay? But your total cost will start where your total fixed cost is. Okay? Okay. So moving on. Now we will introduce you the concept of average cost and marginal cost. Earlier, we have the average product and the marginal product. Actually, it is almost the same with the product. So average cost is actually also called the unit cost, where your average there is also average fixed cost, there is also average variable cost, and also average total cost, which you will divide into the number of quantity. Meanwhile, in your marginal cost, it is the additional or extra cost brought about by producing an additional unit. So therefore, it is your marginal cost is equal to the change in total cost over your change in quantity. So marginal costs are costs the firms can control directly and immediately. How can you say, ma'am, uh, how can you say that this cost can be controlled by the company? Of course, they are the one who is thinking or will decide how many they will produce. Therefore, the quantity that could be added to the original product is in their choice also. Therefore, your marginal cost can also be controlled by them. Therefore, a firm's decision as to what output level to produce are typically the marginal decision that is decided either magiging madami ba sila or they will produce many or they will only produce less. I will. So do you have any questions regarding marginal cost and average cost? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So actually, I will post this later. This will be your activity for the average cost. So earlier or last week, you only computed the average product and your marginal product, right? But this time, you will also compute for your total fixed cost, total variable cost, total total cost, okay? Your average fixed cost, your average variable cost, your average total cost, and your marginal cost. Daming cost na, right? But don't be overwhelmed by the numbers, okay? That they have the same, almost the same equations on how they're going to get. So it's very easy. So that will be later on. So the next concept is actually is that where's my there. So now the next concept will be the profit concept, okay? Or your revenue versus profit. So again, your revenue is your sales generated by an enterprise. Sometimes most of the student thought that revenue and profit are almost the same. Same in a way that they are the output or your the value that your product sold, but they have a difference. So revenue refers to the sales generated by an enterprise. So it is value derived by the firm from selling goods and services. So if you are selling a ballpen in 10 pesos, and you sold 2 ballpen, your revenue is 20 pesos, right? Revenue is the amount of money that a producer received in exchange for the sale. Okay? So therefore, your total revenue is equal to the selling price times your quantity. Meanwhile, your profit is the difference between the total revenue and total cost. Total profit is equal to total revenue minus your total cost. Earlier, my example is ball pen. You're selling it at 10 pesos. However, the cost of producing a ball pen is 5 pesos. If your revenue is for selling 2 ball pen is 20 pesos, how much will be your profit? If the cost of producing a ball pen is 5 pesos, how much will be your profit? Okay, again, the example was you are selling a ball pen at 10 pesos, and um you were you were able to sell 2 ball pens, and the cost of producing 1 ball pen is 5 pesos. The question is, if your revenue for selling 2 ball pen is 20 pesos, how much is your profit? 10 pesos. Okay, very good. Okay, 10 pesos. Okay? So, I hope you got that. Okay, so this is clear? The revenue versus the profit? Clear naman ito? Okay, may habol pa 10. Okay, so thank you guys. So, the next concept will be the cost of production. Yes, we're going back to the cost. So, there are actually two types of costs. Dami ng cost. Meron pa bang idadami yan? Yes. Aside from your average, your marginal, your variable cost, etc., this actually is a type of cost naman. Ma'am, what do you mean? It is the explicit cost and your implicit cost. So, explicit cost refers to an actual out-of-pocket expenditure of the firm to purchase or hire the inputs it requires in production. Meanwhile, your implicit cost is the value of input owned and used by the firm in its own production processes. Okay, para mas malinaw, in order to be cleared out, I will give you an example. Ayan. Easy to see because payment is made, hidden. Okay, so an example will be your explicit costs represent the business accounting costs, which consists of your fixed and variable costs. Therefore, your variable cost and fixed cost is under explicit costs. Meanwhile, your implicit costs represent indirect. Ito yung mga hidden. Normally, ito yung mga hindi natin sinasama sa computation. Right? For example, your entrepreneurship skills. Another is time spent running the money. Yes, time is also quantifiable when it comes to business and also your ideas. It is the implicit cost that does not have actually a direct value, but it's still a cost. For example, if you're going to build a business and your business costs 1 million, that will be your explicit cost. Your implicit cost for that is, for example, is the amount of time you study for the business, the amount of tuition allowance that you spend in order for you to do the business. Diba? Not in order for you to do a business, you should have a background. And the reason why you are studying course already. So do you have any questions regarding the explicit and implicit? Ma'am Shopee. Ah, okay, sorry. Okay. So explicit cost represent the business accounting costs, which consist the fixed variable and your fixed cost and your variable cost. Okay? So anything that you will spend in your business, for example, you are building a business, and your business will cost around 1 million. Okay? That is your explicit cost. 1 million only for building one only. Wow. 1 million for building a business. Shopee pa rin ba ako? Okay na. Okay. So that is your explicit cost. If you're building a business and your business will cost 1 million, that is your explicit cost. However, if you're doing or if you're going to compute for implicit cost, what will be your implicit cost? Example, the study or the time you spend building the business, the time you spend studying how to build a business, your ideas in building that business. That is also what we call your implicit cost. So here, you are studying uh, accountancy, right? Maybe you want to build a business in the future. Maybe. Because accountancy is a business-related course also that will lead you, if in the future, if you want to build a business, you may do so. Therefore, the implicit of building a business may be your tuition, right? You are studying accountancy because you want to build business. Tuition, your allowance, right? Those are what we call your implicit costs. Other than that, for example, your business is food. Of course, you did not just have an idea and I want to have a food business here and there and there. Of course, you will have an idea. You will think, what where will I build my business? What kind of business? Who will be my target? Therefore, your ideas is also an implicit cost. So it is clear? Okay. So here, this page actually introduced to you the business accounting cost. So now what is that? So I will introduce you the accounting cost and your economic cost. Okay. So in accounting cost, it is more retrospective. It recognizes costs only when these are made and properly recorded. May resibo. You have receipt, right? Receipt is everything. In accounting, kailangan may resibo ka. Miski piso yan or 0.0001, kailangan naka-record. Tama ba? Minsan, we are looking for that piso. Nasaan yung piso? Right? So in accounting cost, it is retrospective that it only recognizes cost that it is recorded. But in economic cost, it is more forward-looking. What does it mean? Assuming. Okay. So actually, in economics, or I'm actually economist itself, we are assumer. We assume the future. That is why it is called forward looking, because economists are in tune with future costs, because these costs have major repercussion on the potential profitability of the firm. So it costs the firm utilizing economic resources in production, including your opportunity cost. So here in economic cost, even those who are not recorded, which is the opportunity cost, is included. So what is opportunity cost ba? Any idea? Opportunity cost. What is opportunity cost first? So opportunity cost. This is a very basic concept when it comes to economics. Opportunity cost. Loss of potential gain. What else? Uh, potential gain loss. Binaligtad. So, okay lang yan. Okay. So, I will explain it further. When you say potential gain loss, okay, medyo negative siya, in a negative sense. I will try to make it more conceptual first. Ano pong measurement gamit pag times step? Hindi pa rin. Okay. There is a question here when it comes to implicit and explicit. Okay. I will go back to explicit and implicit. He asked that what measurement is are going to use for the time spent or ideas entrepreneurship. Yes, it is still money, because your time is money, your ideas is money, right? We do not give our ideas for free. We do not give our services for free, but this is just called implicit cost because it varies, right? It depends on the services, but still implicit because it is there. Okay? It's still money. Okay. Thank you for that question. Okay, so let's go back to the opportunity cost. It is the cost of doing something by picking something. Okay. I hope you got that. For example, A and B. You have the opportunity A and your opportunity B. Okay, when situational tayo. When you were in senior high, before you go to college or before you enroll, for example, you want a business related course. So your choices is either business administration or accountancy. Okay. So now that you are here, you choose accountancy, right? So your opportunity cost of picking accountancy is picking business ad. Therefore, it is a potential gain loss. It's your loss that you pick something for something. Sana nag-gets lalo yun. So, dapat yung time na dapat ikaw ay nagte-take din ng business ad, ay binaling mo sa pagte-take ng accountancy instead. So, even that will be covered in opportunity cost or in this economic cost. Medyo clear ba? Okay. Okay naman na siya? So, for example, additional. So, your tuition fee in applying accountancy, it will also, in economic cost, ma-add din yung tuition fee na dapat nag-take ka ng business ad. That is your opportunity cost. Both ay computed in economic cost. So, in accounting cost, if you choose accountancy, ang nandito lang ay yung tuition fee ninyo sa accountancy. But in economic cost, it will also include your opportunity cost that you have taken if you also took business ad. Understand? Naintindihan na? So, for example, hindi ko alam kung magkano yung tuition fee nyo eh. I'm not sure. For example, 20. 20 ba? Baka pwedeng may ano dyan, tuition reveal. For example tayo, 7K. Okay, for example, 7K. Your accounting cost in admitting in College of Accountancy is only 7K. That is your accounting cost. Okay? But in economic cost, it will also include the opportunity cost loss that you should have also take if you're going to take business ad. So 7K plus, magkano ba sa business ad? I think 6K eh. 6K ang down payment. 6K, so your opportunity cost is actually 13K. So understand? Ayan. Ayan. May nagbigay talaga ng exact amount. 7K lang pala. 7K is down payment lang pala yun. Okay. Ayan. So thank you for that exact amount. So did you get this already, the accounting and economic cost? Okay, here in accounting cost, it is retrospective. Everything is recorded. Kung ano yung nandyan, yun yun. Right? In economic cost, it is forward-looking. We assume things. We also in tune with the future. We also include the opportunity cost. Therefore, in economic cost, it is much higher than accounting costs. Okay? So next slide. So, accountants traditionally include only actual expenditure in cost, whereas economists always include both explicit and implicit costs, or what we call your opportunity cost. So, for example, ayan. Example niya ay opportunity cost revisited. The very sound advice is to go to college, stay in college, and earn a degree. But these three people, the opportunity cost of not going to college is this Oprah, okay? Oprah Winfrey became a television newscaster that is very well known. Sino ba to? Jordan, right? Jordan. Nagkaroon siya ng professional career as an athlete. And meanwhile, we all know these people, the one who made Facebook, right? Mark Zuckerberg, di ba? The opportunity costs of their opportunity cost of not going to college is this one. Pero hindi ko sinasabing mag-drop tayo. Okay, do not drop. With these people, right? I mean, it's just an opportunity cost, okay? It depends on the future. Depends, right? Not always the case. So, therefore, your value is not computed by your academic excellence or academic how high you actually reach in life. Okay? Do not drop. Huwag naman kayo mag-drop eh. Okay. So still in accounting costs, you can see here, economic profits include your economic cost or your opportunity cost, which is your implicit cost and your explicit cost. Meanwhile, your accounting profit only get the accounting cost or explicit costs only. Okay? If you're going to compute, okay, revenue minus explicit cost. Meanwhile here, revenue minus explicit cost minus implicit cost. Accounting profit na tayo. Okay, we already got the accounting cost. We are now in accounting profit. So an explanation will be, for example, your total revenue is 3,025. Your explicit cost is 275. Therefore, your accounting profit will be 50,000. That is your accounting profit lang. Right? If you add your implicit or if you divide tuloy, if you subtract your implicit cost, there you will get your economic profit. Okay, understand? So, another example. Okay. A farmer gives piano lesson for 150 pesos an hour. So one day he spent 10 hours planting 300 pesos worth of seeds on his farm. The seeds yield 800 worth of crops. The question is, nakita na. Okay. Magkano yung explicit cost? Nakita na eh. So, how much will be your explicit cost? Unless hindi nyo nakita. How much will be your explicit cost? Ayan. 300 po, ma'am. Nakita. Okay lang. Go. At least, nasaan na yung screen? Oh my God, my screen is missing. There you go. Okay. 300. How about your implicit cost? Implicit. Or your opportunity cost. If your explicit cost is 300, how much is your implicit cost? Or opportunity cost, again, it is the cost of doing something or picking something than the other thing. How much? Sabi niya, he spent 10 hours planting 300 worth of seeds. A farmer gives piano lesson for 150 an hour. How much is his implicit? 450? 450 ba? May guess ba dyan? 500? Ano to, bidding? Higher, higher. Ayan, may nakakuha. Ayan. So, ang answer is, okay, 1.5. Bakit? Why? Why 1.5? Why 1.5? Bakit 1.5 po, ma'am? Wala naman pong 1.5 dyan, ma'am, na nakasulat. Kung kasi, 150 times R. Again, what is your implicit cost? It is your opportunity cost. So instead of, you spend 10 hours planting 300. So if you're going to do piano lesson, 150 per an hour, ilan yung makukuha mo? 1.5. Okay? Kasi mas pinili mo yung 10 hours, 300 lang yung nakuha mo, worth na seed. However, if nag-piano lessons ka, ang makukuha mo dapat in that 10 hours is 1.5. Right? Ayan. At least nagets. Nagets naman, why 1.5? Is it clear? Again, implicit cost is your opportunity cost. It is the cost of doing something instead of one thing. Therefore, you're going to compute the other, or here in this question, piano lessons, which is 1.5. Because he did planting instead of teaching. Next question. Is he making a profit? Ang tanong, is he making a profit? How much will be his accounting profit? Right. Magkano yung accounting profit niya muna? How much is his accounting profit? Accounting. 500. Okay? Bakit po 500? Kasi 800 minus 300. That is your profit. Your revenue is 800. Your cost is 300. Therefore, if you're going to minus that, in order to get your profit, it will be 500. Is he making a profit? Yes, he has a profit. But if hidden costs are included, is he making a profit? How much is the economic cost then? Or economic profit, sorry. Negative 1,000. So the question, if he making a profit, he is not making a profit. Why? Because you will also include your opportunity cost here or your implicit cost, which is negative 1,000. So anong dapat niyang gawin? What he need to do? So what is he needed to do in order to get profit? What does this farmer needs to do? So ano yung pwede yung advice? What advice can you give to that farmer? Knowing that ito po yung accounting profit niya, ito po yung economic profit niya. What advice will you give to the farmer? Anong gagawin dapat niya na lang? Anong gagawin niya na lang? Ayan. His hand is more profitable playing piano. Ayan, actually. His hand talaga. His hand is more profitable playing piano. Or kaya naman, he should just go back to teaching piano lessons. Right? Ayan, his hands, be more hardworking sa farmer. Gawin naman yan, be more hardworking po sa farming. That's true. But if you really want to be business, sometimes from the start, ganun naman mag-i-start eh. You will not get um, the profit that you need in a short run. But in a long run, it depends on how hardworking you are, you can get a positive profit. But just for the sake of discussion's sake, between the accounting profit and economic profit, ito yung pwedeng advice, okay? But again, there are different factors that will influence why people continue doing a business even though they are not profiting. So be it. That is a different uh, topic naman. Okay, but in this topic, and just the advice will be he should go back to teaching piano lesson or his hand is more profitable playing piano. Okay, next. Ito naman. Tom borrows 40,000 from a bank to buy the equipment necessary to open a donut shop. The interest on this loan is 5% a year. He spent 25,000 on annual supplies and pays 10,000 per year in rent. He actually quit his 25,000 per year job to work on the shop. So first question, what are the explicit costs? Ano yung mga explicit costs dito sa question na to? So we have two types of costs, explicit and implicit. Explicit refers to the fixed and variable costs. Meanwhile, the implicit refers to the ideas, entrepreneurship, time, diba? But the question here first is, how much is or what are the explicit costs? Ano yung muna yung mga explicit costs bago tayo mag-add? Okay, may nag-answer dito, 25,000, right? Wala. 25 and 25,000 and 10,000. Yun lang? Ilang ba ang kanyang explicit cost? Okay, again, read. Tom borrows 40,000 from a bank to buy the equipment necessary to open the donut shop. The interest on this loan is 5% a year. Ayan, may nag-message ulit. 5% po. Okay. Ilan ang 5% na yon? Okay? So, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-add. For example, mag-given kayo. 25 plus 10 plus 5%. Hindi dapat ganon. Okay? So, ilan ang 5% na yon? 2K. Ayan. Very good. Ayan. 20,000? Ayan, 20,000? Nasobrahan ka ata ng ng isa. Ayan. Very good. Good. Ayan, 2,000. So, therefore, your explicit cost is 25,000 here, and for the annual surprise, and 10,000 for the rent, and 2,000 for the interest in the loan. Okay? Bakit hindi po 40,000? Kasi 40,000 naman. Because we are referring to a year. Year tayo. Bakit year? Meron nakasulat na year dito, may year dito, at may year dito. Okay? So next, ilan siya? The Tom's total explicit cost is equal to 37. Next question. Ma'am, how much is Tom's implicit cost? Implicit naman. Ilan ang implicit cost ni Tom? 40,000? 40,000? Implicit? We are referring to opportunity cost. Okay? Opportunity cost is picking something over something. Right? So, ano ang implicit cost ni Tom? 25,000. Saan po galing yung 25,000 na yan? Ito po ba sa annual supply? Dito tayo. Here in 25,000 salary. So, it states here that he quitted his 25,000 year job of salary per year job in order to build a business. Therefore, your opportunity in building a donut shop is by quitting his 25,000 pesos year job. Diba? So, that is Tom's implicit cost is 25,000. Okay, next. So, si Tom, sabi niya, sold 80,000 donuts during the year at a price of 50 cents per donut. So, first question, ano yung total revenue ni Tom? Revenue. What is Tom's total revenue? Okay, 40K or 40,000, right? How did you compute that? It is 80,000 times 0.5, which is 40K. Next question. Magkano naman yung accounting profit ni Tom? Accounting profit. We're talking about accounting profit. Earlier, what is the accounting cost? Ilan yung accounting cost kanina? 37, right? So the question is, how much is Tom's accounting profit? Okay. Answer is 3,000. Correct. Ma'am, nasaan nakuha yung 37 ulit? Where did you get the 37? Ma'am, where did you get the 37? It is the what? Nahilo ng iba. It is the explicit cost. Okay? Explicit. Okay? 37 is your explicit cost. And how about your economic cost? Magkano po ang economic cost ni Tom? How much is Tom's economic profit? Economic profit, sorry, rather. So, how much is economic profit or magkano po ang economic profit nito? So, how are we going to compute for economic profit? It is 40,000 minus 37,000 minus, ano yung kanina? Minus, ano ba yung kanina? 25, right? So, therefore, your answer is negative 22. Sana sobrahan din. Ayan. So, ma'am, what is 25,000 uli? What do you call the 25,000? Ma'am, bakit saan galing yung 25,000 na yan? Where did 25,000 came from? It is the implicit cost. Very good. Again, 40,000 will be total revenue. 37,000 is your explicit cost. And 25,000 is your implicit cost. Therefore, your economic profit is 22,000. So, ano sasabihin niya kay Tom? What advice will you give to Tom? Grabe naman yan. what, what will you tell Tom? Cool ka tol. Wag naman. Bawa naman si Tom. Return to your past job. Okay. He should continue his job. Okay. Yeah. Diba? Expand the business. Maybe. If you have profit, di ba? You can only expand your business if you have profit. But checking your accounting profit, which is 3,000 per year, um, okay, 3,000 lang profit mo per year. How can you, okay, question. When do you think that your profit should continue or your business should continue? When do you think positive? PNL? Oh, wait lang. What is PNL? Positive what? I mean, ma'am, my accounting profit is positive also. But if your profit for a whole year is only 3,000, profit and loss, more profit is only 3,000, I will not continue na, right? 3,000 lang. So the other goes to the business, right? When can you tell that your business or profit is okay? For a year. For a year, ha? We're talking about here. If there is a high economic profit po. When is that? Okay, high, yes. Economic profit, yeah. But we're talking about accounting profit muna. Let's check. When can you say in accounting profit, looking at stage 2? Wala. Tapos na tayo doon. Tapos na. Not for stage 2. Okay, you can see here, 40, 37. Ay, hala. Activity tuloy, nakita na. Ayan. How can you say that it is okay, that you should continue your, per year, ha? Any idea? I mean, more revenues than expenses? Okay, select na nga. Okay. Actually, back then, my teachers told me that your business should be higher than what you actually spent. For example, you spend 50,000 in order for your business to boom, or in order for you to say that you actually made it, or you should continue your business, it should be higher. Because whatever your um your your revenue for that year will be used in the next year, right? For example, 50,000 yung cost mo. Tapos yung profit mo lang is 40,000. Paano iikot ang pera mo? Right? Kulang ka pa ng 10K for your expenses. Okay? So, that is how my teacher actually told us na that you should continue your business. It is higher than what it costs. Okay? Ayan. So, next. So, nakita niyo naman na. So, I will also post this activity later. Okay? Ayan. So, again, same thing. Malalaki lang yung numbers, but don't be intimidated by the large numbers. But here, you will calculate for your accounting profit. You'll also calculate for your economic profit, and also what advice or is it a good economic decision for Joe to continue in this business. Okay? Any questions? Clarifications? Violent reaction? Wala naman? Before we go to testing your knowledge. Any questions? Ayan, may lang Bernardo. Yes or no lang po ba yung sagot sa question C? Yes. Yes or no, and explain why. Why do you think so that it is a bad decision? Or a good decision? Ba yan? Okay. So do you have any questions? None. Okay. Okay, so again, kindly go to quizit.com. Wait lang. Let me share my screen. And there you go. Quizit.com. Yan. And click enter code.